Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how we can create workers in D365 F&O using X++ programming language. So first of all, let's go to front end. So I will go to my human resource module, and here when you go to workers, let me click on workers here. I will wait for this to get loaded. Okay, so here this is loaded now. So let me do one thing. I will click on new here. So when you click on new, you see typically you need few important things here. So you need to have a first name, right? So let me put my name here, Sagar, and let me say CHADDA. Here you need to specify legal entity, or here if you see, when this employee is going to start the employment, and this is the personal number. So we need this, few basic information to create a worker in D365. So you see the first name, last name, and person, and all this is needed here. So now what we'll do the same with the help of X++ code. So what I will do, I will create a runnable class. I've already added a solution and project. So I'm going to simply add a runnable class. I will go to class section. I will click on this runnable class and I will simply add my class. So you need to have information about how this name and HcmWorker, this DirPerson, person name, like how all these tables work and how they, relate with each other. So I will tell you while writing the code. Alright, so I don't need this. I can remove this. So I will remove this. Okay, now let us start. So the first, so I will write here dir person name, and let me see this here, dir person name. Let me save this. Let me go to definition here. Let me reopen my Visual Studio. Okay, so now I've just reopened my Visual Studio because my models were not updated. Okay, so here if you go to this particular table, we are going to use this table. Here we'll add these information like the first name, last name, and this person field. And this person field is linked with HcmWorker table. Okay, so we'll write the code, and while writing code, I will tell you. Okay, so now let me add first name and last name here, so I can say dir person name dot first name, and let me put the first name as F name, and similarly let me add the last name for the worker. Alright, so I've added my first name and last name to this particular user, and now what I will do, I will need a ID as well. So when you are creating this user, so you are getting this one auto-populated, this personal number. So this is personal number, and alright, so HcmWorker person relates with dir person rec ID. Alright, so let's do this. So I need to use my HcmWorker table as well, so I will define that table as well, and let me say this as HcmWorker. And now what I will do, I will need a person number as well, because when I'm creating new, this is coming, right? So I need this, so I'm going to hard code this as I'm creating it manually. So for this we have a dedicated entity named as HCM personal number ID, this one. Okay, so here let me say this as employee ID, and let me assign a value to this employee ID. Let me say this is 123 123. All right, I hope we doesn't have this particular employee ID anywhere. All right, so now we have created this. Now we need to link this employee ID to our HcmWorker table. So for that, I'm going to use buffer of my HcmWorker table, and I will say HcmWorker, and I'm going to use a find method here. So you see inside find method, I need to pass my HcmWorker rec ID. So here I'm going to use another table, that is HcmWorker transaction. So I will use this class because you see this the data into this particular table is not available, right? So I need to feed the data. So that's why I'm going to use this particular class here, and then I will say new create HcmWorker. Okay, so if you will just go to this table, let's go to this table first. Okay, so you see here this, let me come so here basically it creates a new worker. Okay, so this HcmWorker transaction, this particular function, like new create HcmWorker, and here you need to pass all this information, and you can ignore these fields because it will automatically pick your company ID. Your HcmEmployment type is hard-coded to employee type, so we want the same. So when you are creating here, this is automatically populating here, and similarly the valid from and valid to date, they will also be minimum value, that is around 1900 and 54, like 2054 would be valid to date, and here we are providing null. So we simply need to pass this data, DirPerson name. Okay, here we have already added our first name and last name. Okay, and then we need to pass this HcmPerson number ID. Okay, so let me, okay, that's fine. So now I will go to my runnable class, and here I need to pass those information, right? So I need to pass DirPerson name first. So I will say simply DirPerson name. Then I need to pass my HCM personal number ID. So I can simply pass my employee ID here. Alright, so this is done. So let me save this. Okay, so here I need to put one more traces to close my this. Alright, so now we have done, the basic information, like all this information. And now when you will open any, let's say, let me open any random person. Let me open this context one. So here if you see, let me go to contact. So here you see the user have its contact information. Now we'll try to add the contact related detail for this user. So let me click here. So for that I'm going to use DirParty class. So I will simply say DirParty, and let me define an object here, and then I can simply say DirParty equals to new DirParty, and here we need to pass this particular, like the table. Okay, so I can simply, so let me close this and let's see what actually it made. So let me go to definition from here. Yeah, so here you see we need to pass this particular the table buffer. Okay, so I'm going to pass this. So I'll go to my runnable class. Okay, and from my DirPerson I will use my DirPerson table here. There's a function find method. Okay, and inside find method I need to pass Okay, let me close this. So we need to pass the rec ID here. So I can easily get it from my DirPerson. So let me add DirPerson name dot person. Okay, so let me tell you this particular table. So if you go here, not here, DirPerson name. So if you see, it have a rec ID relationship. So from here person is here and rec ID is here. So this person will act as rec ID for this particular table. So that's why we have used this. Okay, now we need the logistic location. So I will simply define this logistic location. Let me define its buffer, and I will say logistics location equals to logistics location, and I'm going to use this create function. And here I need to put any random description. Okay, I will say my location. I will show you where exactly it will come in front end. All right, now we need to create a contact information like this, right? So for that we are going to use a view. So to remember, there is a very famous view which contains all this information. So the view name is dir party contact info view, and let me define the object for it, dir party contact info view. Okay, so here I have defined the buffer of this particular view, and when you will open this particular view, let me go to its definition here. So it contains all these tables. So you see, and let me again explain this here. So it contains this logistic contact info, then it contains this dir party location. Then if you will further look here, say this dir party location dot location, it relates with the location from this particular view, and this view have a good amount of data. So let me open this view. First of all, let me open table browser, and okay, we are in that, but it doesn't matter. So what I will do, so this locator field, it contains this information like your contact, or let me copy this. It contains this information like your email, phone, and all this. So we'll also write code. So if you see here, this record is also available here, and here we have all the data. So we will fill all this data into this particular view. So first of all, we need to initialize our view. So now what I will do, I will start feeding data into this view. So I can simply copy this, and I will say this view dir party location contact view. First of all, I will give a location here. So let me say location name. I can say something like my location, and I will close this. Then I need to add an email address, right? So I can say locator. Locator was that field, right, where we see the email address. So I can say a random email address like test@contestso.com, and I will close this. And I need to tell the type here. So let me enter type here. So I need to tell this type. Okay, so this is an enum value. So yeah, exactly this one. So I'll go here. Let me try to go if I can go here. Okay, I'm not, but let me write the name. So it is logistics electronic address method type, yeah, this one. So here we are adding an email, so we can simply add email. Okay, and then again I will write this. Then I need to provide the party information here, so that I can get easily from my DirPerson find method and then rec ID of this. So let me write down it for you. So DirPerson, so here find method. So inside this find method, I need to get the rec ID. Now this DirPerson relates with HcmWorker person field. So here I can say HcmWorker dot person, and here we go. And then at the end, I can pass this rec ID. So let me tell you what I mean to say. So if you will open this table, and where is my HcmWorker? We open HcmWorker, yeah, this one. Go to definition. Yeah, here you see this DirPerson dot rec ID relates with this person ID. So that's why we have written this. See, from here person we have written, then it will get the rec ID for us. And then we can simply say that this is the primary field for it. So for that I will simply use again my view. I will say dot, I will say is primary. I can say here yes. So I will use my this enum and I will say this as yes. And then at the end I need to use object of my this dir party, and I need to pass this view. Here we have just simply inserted data into our view, but we need to initialize this data using this particular class dir party. So now I will use my dir party dot, I can use this create or update, and I am updating contact information, not the postal address. Here you see we need to pass this view dir party contact view. So I can simply pass my view. Other fields, they are not mandatory, so we can ignore that. Alright, so here I have simply passed my view. That's it. So we'll do a build and sync, and let me see if we are left with anything. I think for now this should be fine. So we'll do a build and we'll run a runnable class, and we'll see whether this particular new worker is getting created or not. So let me trigger the build here. So I will pause the video so that build will be completed, then we'll test this. So my build is completed, and my I have also run my runnable class. And now when I go to my workers form, and if I will search with this user, like with this person number, when I will search this, let me search this, let me paste it here, and I will say apply. Okay, so here you see now this first name, last name, this is coming, and the worker type is also email. And here if you see the contact information, we have added this data like my location, then sorry this one, then here we added this test contest, so we make it primary email. We can make it primary. Here the email type. Yeah, so we added all this information. Okay, so here using our view, we inserted data into our this particular table. So we inserted the data using this particular view, this dir party contact info view. So thank you for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.